All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. This is a big shout out to my man T and Christina. They had their 13th anniversary on Valentine's Day. So this is for T and Christina. All right. They got a YouTube channel over there at Links Boys TV. You know, the 804 Virginia Baby Crew. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to tell you about the Booby Boys. So this is about the Booby Boys, you know, just so y'all understand. You know, the Booby Boys all the way from Miami. Big shout out to the Booby Boys. 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 Now, the Booby Boys are, you know, when I first go down to Miami, back in like maybe, you know, early 90s, I go down to Miami and all my cousins and family members, they talking about, be careful, you wearing a lot of jewelry, you know, the Booby Boys out there, the Booby Boys this, you know what I mean? And, you know, of course, me, I went down there in a convertible drop-top BMW, you know, black with the chrome BBS rims. You know, I'm shining. I'm doing me, you know, and I got the black Dapper Dan summer outfit on, you know what I mean? With the Gucci interior, you know, in the car. I got the Gucci on the car, on the outfit. You know, I'm Gucci down from the car to the socks. You know what I mean? So I'm doing me. Big shout out to Dapper Dan. Big shout out to Dapper Dan. All right? So, calm down. Let me get to the story. You know, I like to get right to it. Now, I'm down there in Miami, and all my cousins is telling me, man, you can't drive that convertible at night. You know, them Booby Boys out there. I'm like, the Booby who? And they're like, the Booby Boys. I said, man, I'm not worried about no booby nothing, man. I'm the boogie man. You know what I mean? Nobody don't know me down here. Something happened. I could, you know what I mean? I could just bust off, you know what I mean? And just keep it moving, you know? Be on the next thing smoking back to New York. So I'm not worried about no Booby Boys, man. But big shout out to the Booby Boys. I don't want you to think that I'm into disrespecting anybody, because I got to give my man, I got to give my man Kenneth Williams a big shout out. I was with him in Coleman, Florida, so I got some prison stories for you too about Kenneth Williams. You know what I mean? That's the one Rick Ross talk about, you know, in the songs. But now I'm down there, and I go to the flea market earlier that day. But you know, being it was like 100 degrees out there. It was so hot out there. I just said, man, I can't do that. You know, so I go down there and I got the forest green MPV with the boomerang antenna on the top, and I'm doing me, you know. So I go to the flea market and I see this nice little shorty. She was about maybe 4'11", maybe about 100 pounds soaking wet. And like I said, I was in my, you know, punish your female time, thinking that was making love. You know, if they're not screaming, it's not love. You know, that's where my mentality was at. So I'm telling you, you're this youngin' on the street. You know what I mean? You want to be in control, you want power, you know, and, you know, so this is where your mentality got to be at. So I'm dealing with this little thing now, and I get the phone number, and she called me later on that night and tell me she want to hang out. And, you know, of course, I go pick her up and to go meet her, and I go down there on 125th and 7th Avenue. You know, this in Miami. So, you know, it got a little Royal Crown Burger joint on the corner. Y'all from Miami know what I'm talking about. And then right down the street, you know what I mean? Now, that was 119, yeah, that was 125th. And then you got Big Daddy's, you know, 119 on 119th right there by the Winn-Dixie. You know, I'm going to give you some Big Daddy stories, too. Y'all remember Big Daddy's? Big shout out to Big Daddy's. Big shout out to Big Daddy's. You know what I mean? Big shout out. Big shout out. All right, hold up. So I just want y'all to understand, you know, and see the vibe of, you know, where my life transformed to. So now I go over there. They got a little Burger King over there on 125th across the street. It's like a Crown Burger or something. And next to that, it's a laundromat. So I called the little shorty, and she tells me to meet her over there by the Burger King. So now I roll up by the Burger King. And when I roll up over there by the Burger King, you know, I'm waiting on shorty. So I go on the line, and while I'm waiting, I drive through the drive-thru. And when I drive through the drive-thru, I see this big old, like a Cutlass, you know, convertible. It was like a funny colored turquoise blue or something like that, right? But it was fire. You know, I ain't even gonna front. But it was a little convertible. They had 3 dudes in it. They had their drop top. I had my BMW drop top. They got their, you know, Chevy drop top. And I noticed they staring at me. You know what I mean? So right there, you know, it popped in my mind from my subconscious to my conscious mind, you know, these Booby Boys. you know what I mean, that my family members keep telling me about. So I said, oh, I'm getting ready to have some fun. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to have some fun. Boy, I couldn't wait. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there now, and while I'm at the joint, the Cutlass drive around a lot, and I see them looking at me. I got my convertible down, and I'm wearing my little Gucci outfit, so I know they looking. I got jewels and diamonds everywhere. I mean, I'm blinging. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I do. You know what I mean? So you understand? They see this, they don't know how to act. So they drive around once, and then I drive around and I'm looking for the little shorty. She ain't there yet. And they go to a lot next door. And I go back around through the drive-through, and then here they come again, driving around me again. You know what I mean? So I said, oh man, I'm definitely going to have to, bust off, of course, So I'm sitting there waiting, and then now here comes the little shorty. The little shorty pulls up, and she in a little burgundy car, a little small joint, you know what I mean? Smaller than a Jetta, like a Fiat or something, That was a little Honda Civic. That's what it was. She was in a little burgundy Honda Civic, and she was a pretty caramel complexion, had that come back to Jamaica hair with the natural curls in it, looked like it's wet all the time, and she had it kind of bushy in the front with a little ponytail in the back, and she was gorgeous, straight gorgeous. Big shout out to Shorty, big shout out to Shorty. So now I'm seeing her, and as I'm seeing her, I'm seeing the car keep driving by, so I said, something ain't right, you know what I mean? I know Shorty ain't trying to set me up, So, of course, I'm already thinking I'm going to have to clap her too. You know what I mean? Bottom line. So she pulls up next to me and she said, oh, follow me. So just when she say that, here goes the Cutlass again. I said, oh, man, she trying to set me up with these. Oh, gosh, I'm going to have a ball tonight, So this was on my mind. So I had a chance to pull out and shoot back to the crib. But you know me, I can't let a good challenge go by. And I felt like they was challenging me, trying to check my gangster. And I'm not having none of that. So Shorty said follow her. She drives across the street and she goes to the laundromat. So when she go to the laundromat, we go over there. But of course, I'm going to keep it 100. You know what I mean? I got the Tech 9 on the passenger seat. So now when I drive over there to the joint, it's like some bushes separating it. And the Cutlass, that drive around this car across the lot too. But instead of going in the lot that me and Shorty in, they went in the lot with the little strip mall. Like, y'all remember that little strip mall right there, across from the laundry mart by the, the thing was a Crown Burger or a Royal Burger or something. So I'm sitting there, and they go over there. So Shorty right there. So when I get out, I see Shorty, she give me a hug, So I told her, hold up a minute, you know what I mean? But I got my eye on her. Let's let you know I got my eye on her, So I said, hold up a minute. So I roll over to the bushes, you know what I mean? And I pull out the 9mm Glock with the infrared beam on it, and I cock the beam on, and I got the joint pointed down on the floor, but, where they could see the beam. So when I roll up over there, they see me, and when they see me, they look up, and they pull out, you know what I mean? And I said, oh, man, they scared, No disrespect, this wasn't the Booby Boys. But like I said, the Booby Boys was all in my mind from my cousins and them telling me about these Booby Boys be putting their work in jacking cars. Y'all remember when Booby Boys had the name for carjacking? Because carjacking, what I remember, it started down in Miami. I know Jersey and Newark had the Jersey drive-by and all that, where they started doing carjacking in Jersey. But I'm going to give you all a quick story about Florida when I first went down there. So if y'all from Florida, y'all remember this one. It was a black dude that robbed a tourist down there in Miami. And, he must have killed them, and then he drove cross country and made it all the way to California. And that was one of the first major carjackings in the United States, to show you that I'm back from the beginning of everything, and I'm giving you it all. That's why I say Cash App on the screen. Make sure you hit the Cash App. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's $1, $5. The game is to be sold, you know what I mean? Not told. Now, so dude shoots out of Miami to California, and I see it on the news that they caught him in California. So now I know that this thing is real. He wasn't a Booby Boys. Let's get that right. I want to do a disclaimer so you don't think that I'm just using the term Booby Boy in this video and in the title, so y'all understand that, this is what my family members kept telling me about, because their name was Gangster down there, straight gangster. You know what I mean? When you hear the Booby Boys, you cringe. You know what I mean? They was putting their work in. You know, big shout out again. Gotta give them a big shout out, man. Gotta give them a big shout out. All right? All right, calm down, calm down. Let me get back to the story. So now, while we sitting there chilling, you know, the dudes left and me and the girl there, and I'm thinking the whole time, you know, she was too little and she was a female, and, you know, I mean, she was, like I said, about 90 or 100 pounds. And, yeah, I didn't want to pistol whip her. You know what I mean? I ain't want to pistol whip her. Not with the Glock or nothing like that. I didn't want to put my hands on her, but I wanted to pistol whip her with the anaconda. You know what I mean? I wanted to really punish her with the anacondas. I said, okay, she tried to set me up, so now I gotta take her and, you know, show her, you know, how I chastise a female for trying me. You know what I mean? So I take her to a little hotel up the street. Where was that at? The hotel. I like to give y'all the locations so y'all in Miami know everything I'm saying is official. So I take her to the little hotel. I think it was a Town and Country, one of them hotel, Courtesy. It was a Courtesy hotel right there off of 95. You know what I mean? On 7th Avenue going down, you know, towards the south. So I take in the hotel. I get up in the hotel and I get Shorty up in there. And all I'm thinking is, man, I'm going to punish this little Shorty for even trying me like that. And she was so little and beautiful. I tell you, she looked like one of those come back to Jamaica doll babies. You know what I mean? I mean, her breasts was like, you know, the size of a ripe lemon. You know what I mean? You know what a ripe little lemon looked like? I mean, it was a joint where you could just put the whole joint in your mouth and, you know, suck through to her back. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like I said, that's what I was into. You know, I like to feel her all the way up on me with her back arching, and I know when she's making the sounds that I'm doing my thing. You know, so I start playing with the little lemons on the chest, and, you know, I'm doing what I got to do. And as I'm sitting there enjoying myself, you know, she, you know, says, where I go do? Y'all go put it in our what? She was a Jamaican. Big shout out to the Jamaicans. Big shout out to the Jamaicans. Big shout out. Big shout out. Big shout out to the Jamaicans, man. Big shout out to the Jamaicans. She was a little Jamaican. Said, y'all gonna put it in our what? I said, huh? Like, yo, she challenging me now. She 90 pounds. And she challenging me. Talking about, you gonna put it in our what? I said, oh, man. I grabbed Shorty, throw in the back, take the legs, you know what I mean? You know, throw it all the way back to her ears, and I go deep up in her. You know? So I mean, and she's screaming, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing my thing. I was like, oh, you're killing me. Oh. So, you know, you know, about 20, 30 minutes, and, you know, so now I spin around backwards, get in the little doggy style, and I'm freaking again. So, you know, after I get mine, I lay down on my back, and I'm taking a deep breath. I pull out a spliff, and I start smoking a spliff, and I'm, you know, thinking how good I did. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I got this little Shorty, you know? So while I'm laying on my back smoking a joint, I'm reminiscing, you know, I poured me a little Moet in my little champagne glass at the side of the bed, you know. Shorty tapped me on my chest, you know what I mean? Like she was firing gunshots at me. You know what I mean? You know, this is how she tapping me. You know? I said, what's up? She said, me know you don't think you're done yet. I said, huh? After all that anaconda I just gave you, you asking me, you know, if I'm done or do you, I mean, I ain't gonna front. I was done, you know what I mean? But, you know, I could have still went because she was that good. As I looked at it, you know, I got turned on. So she said, me know you don't think you're done yet. So now I know I just got to punish her. You understand what I'm saying? So I sit on the edge of the bed and I pull up in front of me because I like them little melons in my mouth. You know what I mean? Those little lemons in my mouth. So I sit up there and I grab by the lemons and we ride and we doing our thing, and you know what I mean? And while I'm hitting it, she's spinning around backwards, put her palms on the ground, and you know, Miami known for that pop the coochie and doo-doo brown and all that dancing, what y'all call now twerking. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Miami. Big shout out to Miami. You know, so calm down. For y'all to know, 'cause I like to give history lessons, like I told you about Michael Jackson in Studio 54. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm giving you all the history lessons. That twerking that they doing now, Miley Cyrus didn't start it. It didn't start in the West Coast. It didn't start in New York. It didn't start in Chicago. That joint started down bottom. Y'all know what down bottom is. Bow, gunshots for down bottom. So that's where the twerking started. So she throw her palms on the ground, and she got her legs spread over on the side of my thighs, and she's popping it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I'm looking at her and she just working me and she's 90 pounds. And I'm trying to kill her. I'm trying to put it all the way through her. And I'm like, oh no, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna let her get out on me like that. Go tell her friends that the New York boy couldn't hang. So she looked back at me and she said, oh, you like the way it feel, eh? You hear me? She said, you like the way it feel, eh? And she look in my eyes. So now I take my hands and I grab her by, you know, her head, you know, and she got her palms on the ground and I'm trying to pull her back, her little back arched up. You all know that feeling, man. You know what I mean? Her little back arched up and I'm deep up in her. You know what I mean? Gunshots. You know what I mean? I'm deep up in her. But she taking all of it. You know what I mean? So after about another 20, 30 minutes, you understand what I'm saying? Her knees get weak and, you know, she fall down on the floor. So, you know me, I'm a good old, you know, dude. So, you know, yeah, I'm down in Miami. So I violated. I'm keeping it 100. I violated. I totally violated. You know what I mean? Y'all would never guess what I did? Y'all take a guess what I did, how I violated. You know what I mean? I violated the gangster's code, man. I violated the gangster's code. Put it in the comments, man. Even put it while you're watching this video after you hear it. Let me know how you thought I violated with this female, you know, after, you know, we both climaxed, you know, she fell on the floor while I was sitting on the edge of the bed hitting it, you know, knees got weak and she fell out. I violated because when she curled up on the floor, my dumb black ass went and laid on the floor with her and cuddled. Could you believe I cuddled with this little shorty? Me, old gangster from New York. I done put my work in. She done conked out and fell on the floor. And my dumb ass down there cuddling with her. But she felt real good in my arms with her little, you know, fingernails rubbing up and down my chest. But I'm sitting there the whole time and I'm thinking, nigga, get up. What is wrong with you? So, you know, I push her off. Get up off of me. She looked over all startled, you know what I mean? But I'm really mad at myself because I'm cuddling. You know, what gangster cuddles, man? We don't do that. So that's why I'm telling you youngins, man, don't get in the game because these are certain things you got to do. You know what I mean? Because while I'm sitting there cuddling, you know, your thoughts ain't right, your hearing ain't right, a nigga can just creep up in the room or whatever because you don't know what happened. But I got the room, so I got the only 2 keys, but still, we don't cuddle, my nigga. You know, my dumb ass down there cuddling, you know? So after we done, I push her off. She looked back at me, and I go in the bathroom and, you know, I'm going to keep it 100. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it 100. It's not no sex joint or nothing, but I'm just letting y'all know. So I stand up over in the sink and I'm washing the anaconda off and sharpening them back up because I said I'm going to have to punish her because I don't like the way she asked me if I'm not done yet. You know? So I'm sharpening the anaconda up, cleaning them back up. And she said, "Wait, how I do it? Me know you're not ready for leave." I said, "Leave?" And I turn on the shower, we go in the shower, we go at it again. You know what I mean? So she took all of it. I ain't gonna front. 90 pounds taking all of me, and I was known to give a vicious back shot with the females. So I'm like, nah. So after we done, we leave, and that's when we shoot up there by Big Daddy's real quick. So we go up in Big Daddy's, they go to Cutlass again. You understand? So it's still in my mind that shorty down with the dudes with the Cutlass. It's in my mind, shorty down with the dudes with the Cutlass. You know? So when I pull up in the joint and I see the Cutlass, you know, I tell shorty, yo, go on in the club, I'll be there in a minute. I figure I'll deal with her later, but let me deal with these dudes. So when she go in the club, I roll up on the Cutlass and I pull the joint out and I roll up on them. I said, "Yo, family, you looking for me?" It's like everywhere I go, I see you at. And they're like, no. And I said, "I will open the glove box." You know, so I made them open the glove box and all that, you know what I mean? So make sure they ain't have nothing. So I'm looking around the car and they said, "Yo, you bugging. I said, "Nah, I ain't bugging. When I was at the Burger King, y'all was following me. When I went over to Laundromart, you was following me. You know what I mean?" And it was like, nah, we're supposed to be meeting a girl over there at the Burger King and she ain't show up yet and we ain't want to just sit there. Which is the same thing I was doing, so it sounds like a plan. You understand what I'm saying? So I say, yeah, you know what I mean? And I let that one ride, you know? So now I go back in the club. And while I'm in the club with shorty, you know, another little shorty now. But now Miami was known for, you know, we you know, if they paying shots. They paying big money for the shots, you know what I mean? In their ass now to get what Miami girls had natural back then. All Miami, the majority of Miami girls, they bust was like this, man, and juicy. I don't know what was in the water, because when I took some Virginia girls down there. I'll tell you about that in another time. You want to put it in the comments. I took some Virginia girls down there, and they were like slim and, in good shape because they was from further up east. And, they was more athletic built. But the Miami girls, the booties was just juicy. You know what I mean? Maybe that's where they got the, the Doodoo Brown and Pop the Coochie from that, Molly Cyrus done labeled twerking and y'all gave her the credit. But give that credit to Miami. Big shout out to Miami. Get that twerking credit. Come on. Calm down. Get that twerking credit to Miami, man. So the New York girls, Virginia girls that I brought down there, they seen these, and these was fly. That's what we called them back then. Y'all say crunk now and all that, you know what I mean? Or litty, But these females was fly from Virginia. But when they saw the Miami girls, how they was built and what they was wearing, so you understand the transformation that I went through. When I was on the street, they was wearing jeans and dressed down a little bit above their knees. They might wear tennis skirt, things like that on the East Coast. But it was mostly Big Johns and Edwins with a pair of 5411s, little tube top, powder on the chest. Don't forget the powder on the chest. No bra, nipples popping out. You know what I mean? That was the up north attire. But now I'm in Miami, and they wearing what they wearing now. Those little see-through things that back then we called them slips. Nightgowns, stuff that you wear in your house or in a hotel room with your man. But, y'all see that's what they wearing out there now. But Miami started all that too. Big shout out to the fashion, to the females, to the sexy fashion. Big shout out. Gunshots. You know what I mean? Gunshots to the Miami girls. So they started all that fashion. Miami girls did their thing. But I'm going to give it again. I went down to D.C. and I interviewed my man Kirk Bone. Make sure y'all check out Kirk Bone TV. I go check out Kirk Bone, and me and Kirk Bone down there, we doing a little interview after my man Antone White and Big E welcome home party down in D.C. Now, while we down there, we had a conversation where I let them know straight up, Baltimore girls is what I remember. I'm just speaking from my experience. They had the best hairdos, the most expensive hairdos. I used to hustle down there in Baltimore too. But now, when I was down there in Baltimore, the females down there, only way you could have sex with them, you know what I mean? It was either doggy style or they was riding you. But it wasn't no laying on their back because they ain't trying to mess their do up. They don't care how much money you giving them. They it was too many hours to get this do the way it is. So I remember Baltimore females having the best hairstyles. You know what I mean? And I'm going to give it this one too. You know what I mean? I'm going to give Baltimore another shout out. You know what I mean? The Baltimore dudes now, the men down there in Baltimore, they was the ones wearing, the derby hats and, the three-piece suits and, you know what I mean? They was into the fashion, like the pimp fashion to the next level. You know what I mean? That's what I remember. You know what I mean? No disrespect to nobody else, but just letting you know, Baltimore dudes, the older dudes now, they used to be some dressing dudes with the suits and the cane and, you know what I mean, the old school, derby hats and all that. Then, you go over there. I'm going to give D.C. they props too, being that y'all won't think that I'm saying, because Kurt Brown tried to say the D.C. girls had better hairdos, you know what I mean, than Baltimore girls, but nope, don't agree with it. But now, the D.C. dudes, they had, they was the ones that had the Guess jeans. Y'all from D.C. Big shout out to my man Is the Christ, Larry Moe, you know what I mean? Minx, rest in peace, Antone White, E.R., you know what I mean? My little man Rat, you know what I mean? We got all, La. Big shout out to La, man. You know what I mean? Baltimore's finest. Big shout out to Larry Moe and La. You know what I mean? Now, they'll stamp what I'm telling you. We used to wear the straight, we used to wear, before all that, we had the Sergio Tacchini, and then the Devils came in, and the Calvin Kleins. That was and the Jordache. I went all the way back to the 80s on y'all, so y'all might not know. But after that, they didn't really have no fashion for dudes because all them little, name brands went out. And, but DC, they was rocking the Guess jeans. Because we used to all wear Guess jeans, even in New York, and, Miami and Virginia and everywhere. But D.C., they had the Guess jeans with the pencil pocket. It's a little pocket that's in between, the side pocket and the back pocket, right by your waistline. But, with that little, it's called a pencil pocket. With that little pencil pocket, it gave it a little width, in your thigh area. So they didn't look tight like what y'all call skinny jeans now or, fitted jeans. but they had the little pencil pockets. And then they, you know, DC, to give them their props again, DC was the first ones that had, I'm gonna do a whole video and talk about this again. So I'm saying I'm repeating myself. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures. I'm gonna take my time and edit one and show y'all the pictures. They had the leather jackets, you know what I mean, like that had the frills. You know, the Indian frills, like you see in the old cowboy movies, they got the frills hanging down. First place I seen that was DC. Somebody correct me in the comment, because I know everybody try and claim everything for their own state, but I keep it 100. DC had the pencil pocket, you know what I mean, with the Guess jeans, and they had the jackets, you know, the Indian jackets with the frills going down the side. Big shout out to DC for that. You know what I mean? All right? Big shout out to DC for that. You know, all right, calm down. And then now, of course, I'm going to have to give Baltimore some more props. Baltimore, down by the harbor, you go get the Looney Tunes jacket. You know what I mean? The Mickey Mouse leather jacket with the Mickey Mouse joint sewed on it with different colors. You see, I just took y'all on a nice ride. But let's go back to Miami. You know what I mean? So now I'm down in Miami, and we up in Big Daddy's 119, right? On 119th and 7th Avenue. You know, Jumbo's right up the street. So we up in the joint, and, you know, we leave there, and we shoot down the Jumbos. You know, Jumbo, y'all, big shout out to Jumbos in Miami, man. Big shout out to Jumbos on 7th Avenue, Miami. Big shout out. You know, I don't remember the dude's name that had it, but the dude had a Ryder truck, and in it he had it set up like a little living room with the big wicker chair and the, you know, and the big like bearskin type rug on the joint. And you climb up in the truck and you go take your pictures. I got a bunch of pictures from in the truck at Big Daddy's. That was the Ryder truck. Y'all remember that, right? I mean Jumbos. You know what I mean? Y'all remember Jumbos where you used to go take your pictures? Because I went down there with the green and white turbo one night, twin turbo Nissan, and shut it down. I mean, shut it down. I mean, everybody came over wanting to take pictures in front of this joint. So they got a bunch of pictures of Miami with the green and white turbo. Because, of course, I let them do it because, you know, I made a nice little red bone. I got a picture with me and her, too, you know, leaned up on the twin turbo. I'm going to dig out some pictures for y'all. But anyway, so we go down to Jumbo's. We're doing our thing. When we down at Jumbo's, here comes the Cutlass again, you know, the little convertible. But now when they come down, I respect them. Big shout out to them big brothers, man. Big shout out. Big shout out. You know, big shout out. You know, I respect them because when they came out, when they came down there, they came out, they walked out, they had their hands up and they were like, yo, what's up, gangster? We don't want no trouble. Just wanted to introduce ourselves. You know what I mean? So, you know, I met them and I started hanging out with them, and then I went down to Goon Bay. You know what I mean? Y'all in Miami remember Goon Bay? This is the Miami Booby Boys official giving y'all little Miami stories, man. But, you know, I had to give y'all some, you know, the East Coast some props, too, so they don't think, you know, this YouTube, you know. So everybody look for content to rip off another dude. Say, he ain't give Baltimore, he ain't give D.C., he ain't give New York no props. Yeah, we had the 5411 with the Big Johns and the Edwins. Let's keep it 100. And, you know, those body tops the females used to wear with the powder on their chest, little right nipple sticking out. That was New York fashion. I'm just giving everybody a little props. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. So now, you know, they hollering at me and they telling me, man, you know, I like the way you rolled up on us, man, you know. Where you from? So I tell them, nah, I'm from New York. And they're like, oh, man, you know, I got family in Brooklyn. Anywhere you go out of town back then, you know, anytime you meet somebody, they tell you they got family in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Everybody got family in Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn's the only person that go out of state. You know what I mean? I said, nah, I'm from Harlem, son. You know what I mean? And he said, Harlem. I said, yeah. He said, oh, 'cause I got family in Brooklyn. I said, yeah, well, you know, we more flashy and all that, and, you know, Brooklyn get down for their crown. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Crown Heights where I started at. Big shout out to Crown Heights where I started at. You know what I mean? Big shout out. So, you know, we wound up hooking up, and, you know, the next weekend when I went back down there, we went down to Goon Bay. Y'all remember Goon Bay in Miami? Put in the comments if y'all remember Goon Bay, y'all in Miami. But I'm going to leave it right there on that. But I'm going to end that because, you know, I got a whole bunch of other things to talk about. But remember, my man got a change.org website. His name is Jimmy Fingers. You can sign his petition at freejimmyfingers.com. freejimmyfingers.com. That's my man. He doing 300 years plus 6 life sentences. You know what I mean? you know, but he's rehabilitated like me, you know, like me. I'm an old gangster. He definitely an old gangster. And, you know, we out. Big shout out to my man Lou Sims, Farris, you know what I mean? Peter Shue, you know, all Kevin Childs, all of us that came home that kept it 100. You know what I mean? Big shout out to everybody, man. But freejimmyfingers.com. And definitely, being that I'm talking about Miami story, I can't leave my man out. Big Trav, you know what I mean? From the Miami boys that went from Miami to Atlanta, you know what I mean? And put it down like how Unique went from, you know, New York down to East Coast and put it down. We had Big Trav that was down in the bottom, went with the Miami boys, went up there with busloads. If y'all want, I'm going to interview Big Trav for you because I got my system set up. So if y'all want me to do an interview on Big Trav where he could tell about how he went from Miami, you know what I mean, to Atlanta to put it down. And when he got to Atlanta, up to this day, they labeled them the Miami boys. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Travis, man. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Trav. You know, big shout out to Trav. I was with Trav in Coleman, Florida, too. You know what I mean? Another good brother, know how to get that money about his business, you know what I mean? But, you know, this is what it is. And his homeboy Biz. Big shout out to Biz, man. Biz always called me check up on Luke. You know? So, you know, that's where we at. Like I said, if you like the content, Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $5. Do something to show your appreciation or at least give me an emoji. You know what I mean? At least give me an emoji. You know, but show me something that you appreciate what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be, going on a doctor's appointment, but instead I'm sitting here making sure y'all got this good content for the day so y'all enjoy your joint. You know what I mean? But remember, freejimmyfingers.com. All right? freejimmyfingers.com. Don't say I didn't tell you because we ain't trying to bring y'all no gunshots. All right? Because, you know, come on. You know, nowadays what they going to do? They gonna call the police. Well, so we ain't trying to bust no guns. So I'm telling you, the youngins don't get involved in it. So ain't nobody got to call the police on you. You ain't got to go through the crap that I went through. So know that this is a morning inspirational joint. I'm gonna start doing little morning inspirational joints, maybe on the shorts or, you know, I might even, sign up at Unique Mecca Audio TV. Unique Mecca Audio TV. The same way this is Unique Mecca Audio. Go subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio TV. I'm going to start doing, you know, like 3 times a week live videos over there so it don't take up space over here. But I've been on here long enough. I love talking to y'all, man. Y'all ain't nothing but the best. Thank you for riding with me with the Booby Boys in Miami and the whole 9. So, you know, I'm about to tap out to let y'all know that it's 100. All right?
Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what?
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the north of Mars.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on Jonathan Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. What?
Fresh out the can of 26, Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. drive like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top Beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he tryna stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.